Okay, so I'm back here, Robert, once again. Okay, in this video, I will be covering how to set up a custom YouTube ad so you can run on YouTube. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get started. You should be able to see my pointer on screen. Okay, first things first, like always, you should be doing custom ads only when you're running YouTube ads. Please do not use your existing videos that you've already built because they are not made with a hook and a show educate and a call to action at a certain point in time, and just they're not just set up for commercial. So look at it as a real commercial that you would kind of see on some kind of ad somewhere, TV or something. There's things that we do in marketing to get things just right. So if you look at some of your top ads running on YouTube, they always do some of the things that I'm showing you here. You just don't notice them. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into this, and I'll point things out as we go along. Okay, what you guys are seeing on screen is we're inside one of my editors, which is Camtasia. That's what I use. If you guys are wondering what's the best editor, like if you guys are brand new to YouTube and the whole entire thing, Camtasia is number one. I mean, the largest YouTube channels, your most famous YouTubers are using Camtasia, and the reason why they choose it because it's easy to learn, it's quick, it's fast. They're always updating the system, and you actually own it. You buy it for a couple $100, you pay for the updates, and it's yours, and you're ready to go. You have other choices. You have Adobe Pro, which a lot of people like that one as well. It's a lot. I mean, I actually own it also, but I never use it. It's a little bit trickier to use. So whatever you feel comfortable with, use that. Some people use Final Cut Pro. A lot of your Mac, users, but I like Camtasia, and that's what I use. Okay, so this is not about software. This is about just what you should be doing on a video. So let's go ahead and just keep moving along here. Okay, so the video that you see is my prop video. I call it a prop video. So they're always unlisted. If you're wondering why you've never seen this, unless you've seen one of my paid ads, you would have saw this video. And you will remember it because a lot of times I don't do goofy things like this. I mean, this one has a lot of goofy things through it. And it's just some of the things that I do test every once in a while. Okay, so the reason why I call it a prop video is because I'm holding all these things. I'm talking about funnels. I throw them up in the air. So if we kind of like run the video, like if I start from the very beginning, let me see here. You can see that I'm trying to do it really slow. And then I throw them, then I go into screen capture and so forth, right? Okay, so what's the problems on this video? This video has a lot of problems. I put the call to action in the wrong spot, but we're going to get to that later. So here's what you guys need to know when you're filming YouTube videos. Always keep in mind that this little box here that you see here is always going to be there. This is part of YouTube's call to action. It's always there. So whoever owns the video that's playing, this box will be there, and it's up to you to click learn more if you want to go to their landing page or website or wherever this button is linked to. This button here could say anything from click here, purchase now, whatever the person who created the video decided to put here, that's what's going to be here. Okay, so always keep in mind that it always floats around where I put it, right there. So you'll notice that some people, even with experience, which amazes me, you'll see marketers try to put their head right here and they're talking behind this, and you never see them because they forgot for some reason that this little box is always there. Don't ever do that. Always know that you have to avoid this box. Put your face over here, never over here under here, because usually I run banners that go under here anyhow as well. Okay, so that's just one thing to look for, right? Now let's go over here. Your skip ad button will always be on the right. Now when you go to mobile, it's going to change. This little box will be to the right, and the skip ad will be almost in the same spot, but it's just going to be different. You can see the when you start building ads, you'll see a mobile display. It's going to be a preview. You can see what your ads look like on preview. Okay, so right here, somebody can skip this video within the first 5 seconds and get rid of you. So that's why you want to do the hook right here right away. That's why I put right away. So within the first 5 seconds, which goes by so quick, go into whatever you're trying to do. And this actually applies to most videos. A lot of people try to put their fancy intro and this and that, but if you notice the videos that do very well, they just start getting into what people are there for, that grabs the people's attention, because attention span, as we all know, is very quick and easy just to go ahead and click and get out of there. So you only pay if 30 seconds or more of the video plays. So even if they watch part of the video and it's going and going, they only pay after, well, excuse me, you pay for the ad after 30 seconds. If they click it before the 30 seconds, like even if they go up to 29 seconds and they click skip ad, you don't pay. So you basically get a lot of free airtime, because a lot of people will just want to see what that goofy person's doing, what you're selling. And if you constantly run these ads where they're kind of annoying, or you're just popping up or popping up, if you think about it, just like me, I'll see an ad and finally, somehow or another, I always end up watching more and more of the video. I even click on the learn more button because I want to see if it's something in what I do. Maybe I'm curious about their landing page. I want to see how they're doing marketing. Then I'll click on that. The reason why us marketers do that, I'm not the only one. Every marketer does that, because we're just curious to see how that professional marketer that created all this good stuff that we're watching, how they did it, what software they're actually using, what kind of call to actions, did they think of something clever that you haven't thought of? So that's why we're always looking at things. That's just the way our mind works. We're always curious to see what that person did. Okay, so that's why a lot of people, you'll notice on ads, they're going to click your learn more button, but they didn't go anywhere. They just landed on your page, but they left. Well, sometimes that's just somebody that's just curious to see how things work, of course. Okay, so now you guys know. So try to get what you guys are trying to do right away out of the gate. You'll learn this more when you start watching other videos, or you can watch videos of mine and so forth. Okay, so let's move the playhead now. I want you guys to watch something carefully. So we're talking like the first 5 seconds, goes by so quick. I try to, it's hard to do it as I'm showing you here, but what I'm trying to get to is right there. You can see that the yellow button came in to show educate. Now what this means is, as soon as you can, like that's at the 26 mark, people were pretty close here. If they stayed on your video this long, they're probably going to stay. Start getting into what you guys are trying to show them and educate them on why your product is good. And you really want to drive that home. Of course, this box will, disappear. I'm just leaving it there for a while. Okay, so that's what you guys want to do. Make sure you guys are using good microphones. Like you could hear me now. I don't have really an expensive microphone. A lot of people will, for some reason, get the latest tools out there always. I'm one of those people that probably wait the longest just because I don't have a problem with the one that I'm using. It's basically a Blue Yeti. It's actually a black, microphone. It's but they call it the Blue Yeti, and it's only worth like $100. You can get it for actually, I've seen them go as low as $60 even. So they're cheap, right? But if you want the expensive one, you could go ahead and buy it. One of the most famous ones, I think it's called the Shure mic. It's like a $299 mic. You can get them on sale even now. You're going to need the little box that goes, with it. But, just make sure that you got some kind of a good mic setup. That's always very good. And if you're doing screen capture, I would highly suggest use Camtasia, just like I'm doing. This is what we call screen capture. Okay, so let's keep moving along here. So the whole time that your video is playing, again, people always ask me, how long should the video be? You can have a real long video. You can teach there. One of the reasons why you're trying to get people to click the learn more button also is because when they land on your landing page, you can have them opt in and then you get their email address. Why would you do that? because once you get their email address, then the funnel kicks in. You can start sending them stuff. You can send them emails. You can send them your autoresponder email will kick in. That's like a funnel in itself. And then the actual funnel will actually kick in whatever you're trying to sell, of course. But if you just run a long video on YouTube, you're taking the chance of them watching your whole entire ad, and just you'll never get an email. So that's why a lot of us will always say, okay, well, this ad's coming to an end in 5 minutes. As you know, they can see that, and at the 5 minute mark or 6 or 10, you tell them don't forget to click the learn more button and go. So let's go ahead and look at that really quick. As this ad's running, keep your eye on this. I'm going to change it here, and we're going to go straight into the call out. See, it just changed right about there. Okay, call to action, and then I like to call it the 60-second mark. Let's act like this is, even though we're on the timer, if you guys are watching this, 3 minutes 55. I just put it in, anywhere, but my actual end time is way over here. But what I'm trying to show you is right there. You can see that right there. I know that we're coming to the end, so I throw this up, and you'll notice that a lot of people will throw an arrow up there, and it says don't forget to click the learn more button or purchase now, or something, right? And that's that. And then I throw up a banner. So I never put banners on the top, because when you're running ads, you always have this space. This space is always available under YouTube's little button. So this is their call to action, and then this is going to appear. And then what I do is try to keep this here pointing your banner if you're using one, and whatever else you're doing. That's like on this one, I call it the goofy video. It's me spinning a ball, okay? And right there I put another goofy thing. This is called the movie slate. This is used in real movies when they film movies, and it's just basically a slate. It's not expensive or anything. And if you're wondering what do they use those for, when you do takes, like take one and then you stop the take, it's where movies can look back in their editing and see when the take ended and started, because the person controlling the slate is opening and closing, and it says on there when. So it's really used in real movies. That's what it's for. Some people use it in YouTube videos. It kind of helps just to know when your next cut's coming, but there's different ways to do it, of course. You don't have to use one of these, but I'm just showing you. So let's look at this really quick here. This here, what I did wrong, remember I said in the beginning of this video, is I put this in the wrong place. This should have been running not at only 10 seconds coming to the end of the video. What you want to do is, like, this should have been higher, way up here, the slate, because it says right here, click the button. That was the whole idea of the slate, is to have it show click the button and be out of the way of all this stuff. I should have been holding it higher, and I should have left it on screen for 60 seconds. The trick is, why do you want to do that? Even when your video ends, you want to have some nice calm music that you guys are using throughout the video, kind of like your outro music, we like to call it, and just let it play really nice and easy, because it gives the person that's watching the video another chance to just stare at what they've just seen. They're trying to, what's the word I'm thinking of? They're just capturing the moment. Like on this video, I do some crazy, goofy things. I was spinning the ball on my finger, so they know I could spin a ball on my finger now, right? And just so many goofy things that I did. Well, it's really not that many, but it's just something that they weren't ready for. And then they weren't ready for this goofy slate thing to come up. So that's why I should have kept it up for 60 seconds. If it would have been up for 60 seconds, this video would have been really good. And then again, I shouldn't have put what it says here, because a lot of people think it's just created for the real estate blueprint, but it's not. It's the whole entire course, which has, I would say, 7 courses in it, or 8 now. I mean, it's a huge super course. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Okay, so hopefully I didn't confuse you guys. So remember, when you're first starting the video, within the first 5 seconds, you want to try to capture their attention. Don't worry about the 5-second mark. Just keep going on your hook for the first 30 seconds. So even though they can click away, your first 30 seconds is really capture their attention. You're trying to show something amazing within the first 30 seconds, but just keep in mind they're going to leave possibly in 5. A lot of them will, but when they keep seeing your video over and over, and if you run it and you did your targeting right, and you're showing the videos and you're interrupting people that are in the same business as you or the same niche, then they're eventually going to watch the video. Now, let's talk about why really quick, why videos do well, some of the ads that are out there. Like I'm saying, if you got your call to action at 60 seconds, then that's huge. Let me go back just a little bit so you guys can see that. The call to action at the very end, that's the arrow. Like we go right about there, this thing. And whatever you do after, even if it's you holding something up, something, funny that says get this deal now, and you're actually talking, you got the outro music going, leave it up for 60 seconds. A lot of people, just like me, I messed up on this video. It was only up for 10 seconds and it was such a cool outro. If it would have stayed up longer, this ad would have did much better. I mean, it did well, but I know it would have really done a lot better. The conversions would have been off the charts if I just would have had a better call to action. So that's what I'm saying. So again, you want to hook them in at the very beginning, just like if I scroll back up, just remember that's why I put hook right away. And just don't forget, you have 30 seconds, so you can go all the way up to here, right about there. And even though you're on show educate now that your hook's gone, it's okay. You could still be talking about the hook for the first 30 seconds, but then go into the main part of what you guys are trying to sell. And if you're doing a 5-minute video or 6, go ahead and make sure that you're driving it home. And then, well, I shouldn't say driving it home yet, because the call to action is where you want to drive it home. You want to really tell them, hey, okay, this is it. Go ahead and click the button to learn more. I'll see you on the inside. Don't forget, this deal is only going to be around for a little while. Whatever. You've heard those pitches over and over. I don't need to go over that with you. There's so many corny pitches that people use. But keep in mind, a lot of the stuff that you see does work. I mean, people, including myself, sell a lot of courses just from doing a custom ad. Now, if you feel this is just way over what you guys want to do, you can always get somebody from Fiverr to do this for you. You're going to pay a lot of money, though, if you really want them to do a custom total ad. I mean, not too much, but you could probably get it done for $150. That's not too much, but when you start learning how this works, you want to have in your ad vault, I would say, at least 10 different ads. Make sure you have 10 different ads. Know that you're going to run some for a little while, and then you're going to give them another one, and then you're going to have your retargeting ads as well. So getting into YouTube ads is not about just running one ad and see if I can just drive it home. But when you find out which ad really is doing the best and doing the correct conversions, stick with that ad. But just keep in mind, you don't want to keep showing the same ad over and over, because people do see that ad over and over. Always have another ad that complements that ad, so they know it's you, and now you're showing them something very similar to what you were trying to sell, but it's actually helping the first ad. And then when you come up with the third ad, the same thing. It's another thing of what you guys are selling, but it's not the same exact ad. And then people don't get bored, and they know it's you, and now they're getting more curious, and the curious thing starts coming into play, and they're like, who is this person? And they just want to click that button because they're just sick of you, or they're just so curious, and they want to know that you're selling something possibly good. Now, as a marketer, and there's many people that are in the marketing business that you might be selling to, they will always want to know more and more when somebody's on YouTube, because people know that if they see an ad that's constantly running over and over, you have to think about it this way. The only reason why that person's running that ad over and over is because they're getting sales. Okay, a lot of people think, that person's probably not doing well, They are. If the ad's running over and over and over, they're getting sales. Okay, it doesn't cost that much to run YouTube ads. That's where the other, I would say, thing that people don't get right. It doesn't cost much at all. If you're doing YouTube ads and you're spending $1,500 a month and you've already sold, like if you're selling courses, I mean, you could sell a couple courses and make 10 grand. I mean, super fast. I mean, it's that easy. So that's why people continue to run ads, because the sales that they got, even if they only got a couple sales, they've already made 10 or 20 grand just from selling their product. And their ads for the whole month, for running the whole month, was only 1,500 to 3 grand. So that's where most people, or that's the ad spend is usually 1,500 to 3 grand a month on a small YouTube marketer. That's what they're going to spend, 1,500 to 3 grand, including me. And then they try to push their product. And if you don't see your product selling, go back and change whatever I just talked about. You know, the show educate, the hook. Then you're going to go into show educate, and then you're going to go into call to action for 60 seconds. You know, make sure you got that stuff right, because if you don't have it right, I mean, it's just going to make a mess. And if it's nothing selling, then go back to the drawing board and make sure that your product is something that people want. A lot of times people will try to really just sell something that people don't want. Make sure there's an audience for it. You know, watch my other videos on that one where I cover how important it is to have something that people really want. Okay, I don't want to keep going on and on about this. Go ahead and watch the other videos that cover more in-depth training on YouTube ads. But for now, I'll see you guys on the next video.